Many people seem to believe a lot of fighters nowadays should be in the GOAT conversation. Personally, I do too, but many people have the wrong GOATs in my opinion. Some I agree with, some I don't. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you who are my GOATs and who shouldn't be in a GOAT talk list. But to start with, my honourable mentions. All these fighters now get put in the GOAT conversation, top 5. I don't think they deserve to be. So, to quickly sum up why I don't think they should be, but they're like top 10, top 20, top 25 even. McGregor made the sport bigger than it ever was. First 2-time champ. The reason why he's not top 5, what do you call it? Too many losses. Didn't defend the title. Lost 2 fights coming back after Cerrone fight. Only winning recent history is Cerrone. He only fought big names such as Nate, Jose, Eddie, and Cerrone, like I mentioned. Not enough to put him in the top 5. Khabib, yes, he was undefeated, but he only fought 3 top-tier opponents. McGregor, Dustin, and Justin. Not enough. Far not enough to be put in top 5. Undefeated, well done, but not enough. Pereira, I'd say if Pereira beats Gane and then becomes heavyweight champ, he's top 5 of all time. Top 5 of all time in my opinion. But he's not done enough to show he's top 5, because he's fought Yili. Yili's not top 5. Fought Khalil, fought Jamal. He beat Izzy, but then Izzy beat him back. I don't think Pereira's done enough to get into the top 5. He's top 10, possibly even top 7. Not top 5. Jose Aldo, arguably regarded as the best featherweight of all time. I personally believe him to be a great fighter, yes, but the best of all time, no. He's got so many losses on his record. Far too many losses. He came back, lost 2. One of the, I'd say second best featherweight of all time behind Volk, but nowhere near good enough to become top 5 of all time. Dominic Cruz, yes, the GOAT of bantamweight in my opinion, the best bantamweight fighter of all time. Beat people like T.J. Dillashaw. Beat people like Uriah Faber in his prime. Those are solid wins, but his future career went down the drain. Lost to Garbrandt, got knocked out by Cheeto. His later fights diminished his legacy by a landslide. Then we have Izzy. With Izzy, if he didn't lose to Pereira and he kept on winning, he would have been top 5. But he lost to Pereira, got the belt back, and his losses to Shawn, to Dricus, to Joe Pyfer, to Imavov, those have shrunk down his legacy by massive amounts, and that's why he's not in the top 5 in my opinion. He don't reach it. Same with Silva. Before the losing streak, top 5 of all time, but then lost to Weidman, broke his leg, and that followed a bunch of more losses, with the only win being against Derek Brunson. Yeah, he was old in his career, but he lost too many to consider him the greatest of all time. And finally, we have DC. Yes, DC is one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time, right behind John Jones. But he doesn't reach the top 5 due to him losing to Stipe twice. And yet, he's top 6. I'd say he's top 6, top 7, definitely top 10 in my opinion. Definitely top 10. Is in a mix for top 10 GOATs of all time. But I don't think he fought enough top caliber fighters, because yeah, he lost to John Jones, he lost to Stipe. But he beat everybody else he fought, which granted puts him high up there. He beat Frank Mir, he beat Uzdemir, he beat Derek Lewis, he beat Rumble Johnson, he beat so many top fighters. But in my opinion, I don't think he did enough to get top 5. But my 5 GOATs start with Volkanovski. Top wins: Holloway, TKZ, Rodriguez, Lopez twice, Chan Mendes, Aldo, Ortega. In my opinion, he's a featherweight GOAT. Nobody is taking a spot. Yeah, he lost to Ilya, lost to Islam. He bounced back and he got the belt back. Not many people could do that. 2-time UFC featherweight champion. Before he fought Islam, 12-fight unbeaten streak. He's absolutely insane. He has changed his style so much over time to adapt to other fighters. When he fought Ilya, he backed up a lot. He went in a lot, which caused him to get knocked out. When he came back against Diego Lopez, he adapted. When he got dropped in the second round, he made sure to keep distance and not get cut off, and constantly move around to not get back against the cage. Volk is top 5. reason why he's not higher is because of his 2 losses. Those 2 diminish his ability to get higher, in my opinion. They diminish it to get higher. That's all the reason why he's not higher on the list. But he's top 5 in my opinion. Do I think he could get bumped out? Yes. Yes, I do. If Pereira becomes heavyweight champion and don't lose until he retires, Pereira's top 5. But if Pereira doesn't do that, and Volk actually gets 1 or 2 more wins under his belt before he retires, he's solidified himself as one of the greatest of all times, in my opinion. Number 4, Islam Makhachev. By far the better Habib. Yeah, he lost to Adriano Martinez early in his career by a fluke KO win. But I'm not even a big Islam fan. I don't like the guy, to be fair. But I do think he's one of the greatest of all time. He's way better than Habib. He beat people like JDM, Moicano, Poirier, Volk twice, Oliveira, Hooker, Sarukian. Lightweight champion, welterweight champion. He's got the same winning streak as Silva in his prime. 1 more win, and he's already beaten the record for most fight streak wins in the UFC. I personally think if Islam goes on in welterweight to be, I'd say 2 or 3 more people, he's number 2. He's number 2 in the GOAT conversation. He's number 2 of all time. Potentially, if he gets another, I don't think he'll fight 5 more times. I don't think he will. If Ilya moves up and Islam beats Ilya, and then Islam proceeds to defend his belt against 3 more people, top caliber people, not rematches, all new people that have not fought before, I personally think he's better than John Jones, in my opinion. Due to the amount of people he's fought, I personally think he has beaten John Jones if he does go on to beat 5 more people, with those 5 including Ilya. But if he loses, he's bumped down massively. He's bumped down to number 5, Volk moves up. But I can't see Islam losing many fights at welterweight solely because of his grappling advantage. Nobody in welterweight really grapples. We have Belal, who Islam won't fight. We have Ian Gary, who won't fight, who won't grapple as good as Islam. We have Michael Morales, who's bound to get taken down. People in the top 5 will lose to Islam. Garen fucking Teed. I know, like, where's the wrestling, brother? Brother, no wrestling. They don't have wrestling. They don't. Islam, he's probably the greatest lightweight of all time. And if he wins 5 fights in welterweight, not better than GSP, but second welterweight of all time, in my opinion. Speaking of GSP, we have George St. Pierre. Number 3 in the GOAT conversation. He beat Michael Bisping, which were a great win coming back after all those years. Johnny Hendricks, Nick Diaz, Carlos Condit, who was a great win. Matt Hughes twice, BJ Penn twice, Josh Koscheck twice. And you're thinking, oh, these people are nothing. They are. When you look at competition back then in GSP's days, these people were killers. They were absolutely slaves back in GSP days. He's 22 in the UFC. Yes, he lost twice. But he lost to Matt Serra, which in my opinion was a fluke loss, and he proved it was a fluke loss by coming back and beating Matt Serra. He lost to Matt Hughes, came back, and he beat Matt Hughes. He avenged both of his losses in the UFC, which not many people have been able to do. He had 10 straight UFC title defences, which is a great accolade for the welterweight division, to say the people who are facing. He was facing so many good people, and you're saying, yeah, but he lost to Johnny Hendricks. Shut up. No, he didn't. I watched a Johnny Hendricks fight a few weeks ago. I believe GSP won that fight. I will do a goddamn fight review on that just to prove GSP did beat Johnny Hendricks. 2-time UFC welterweight champion, UFC middleweight champion. I don't think that's ever been done before, to be fair, when you've been welterweight and middleweight champion at the same time. Well, not the same time, but no, I don't think it's been done before. That's why I think GSP is top 3 of all time. Top 3 of all time. You can't argue against it. He was so dominant when he fought. He was so dominant, and he came back after a few years, fought Michael Bisping, beat Michael Bisping to become middleweight champion. Yeah, it's kind of dampened with how he didn't defend the title, but he still came back and beat the champion, which in my opinion was a great accolade. But yeah, this is why, in my opinion, GSP is definitely top 3. There's no arguing against it. Then, number 2, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. He's the. I forgot to put a T on the title. That's going to really annoy me now. Forget about that. Best flyweight of all time. No one will ever top DJ. In my opinion, DJ is the best flyweight fighter of all time. No one's beat. No one. I don't think DJ will ever get bumped out of the GOAT division. GOAT talk picture. Solely because of how dominant he was. He beat John Dodson, Cejudo, Ray Borg, Horiguchi, who we're seeing coming back and potentially will become champion soon. Wilson Reese, Benavidez. These wins, you're thinking, oh, yo, these ones aren't even they're like goddamn journeyman. If you don't think these wins are nothing, you need to really evaluate your life and watch UFC again, because these wins are top talent wins, elite wins in the flyweight division for the time DJ were fighting in it. I think if DJ came back now and fought in flyweight, he'll become champ again. He'd beat Moreno, he'd beat Pantoja, he'd beat Van, he'd beat Tatsudo, he'd beat everybody solely because of how good he is. He went to 1 and became the champion there. Yes, he lost to Adrian Moraes, but he beat him again to avenge his loss. He was on a 12-fight UFC title defense streak. That is nobody has reached the amount of level, unlike number 1 next, like DJ has. 15-2 in the UFC. He's only lost to Cruz at the very start of his UFC career, and then he lost to Cejudo, which I think, my opinion, was a robbery. He was unbeaten for 6 years. 6 years DJ was unbeaten, and people still consider him. I don't think he's top 5. There's no way DJ isn't top 5. He has to be top 2. I think he's better than GSP. He's way better than Anderson Silva. Better than every fighter we have nowadays. DJ will never be beaten in the GOAT division. He will always be number 2. Yeah, but you're going to say always number 2. That sounds a bit aggressive. No, it doesn't. DJ's number 2. If the number 1 exists, he will be number 1. So, going on to number 1. So, you probably all predicted it. John Jones. Best ever fighter to ever live. Best fighter to ever live. And you can't... yeah, but he's been on steroids. Okay, yeah. He's been caught doing steroids in 1 or 2 fights. Okay, fair enough. But then, explain the other fights that he got found clean for and that he beat. Stipe, Gane, Hua, Jackson, Machida, Evans, Sonnen, Gustafsson, Cormier, Teixeira. These wins are monumental in the GOAT picture. Yes, he had some close fights. Yes, the Reyes fight may have been a robbery. I watched it. I'd say 3, 4, and 5 go to John. I know you're all gonna hate me for that. 3, 4, and 5 go to John in my opinion. I can't see it going any other way. 3, 4, and 5 go to John. But that's a talk for another day. He beat Top Gun. He's had more title fights than regular fights in the UFC. More title fights than regular fights in the UFC. That's absolutely insane. His only loss was a DQ. That's it. To Matt Hamill. That's it. A 12-6 elbow, which now is legal. It's legal now. So it's not even a loss now, in my opinion. I don't see it as a loss. I see that as a win. Because due to them being illegal now, if the rules today were back then, he would have won the fight by TKO. 9-fight unbeaten streak. Every time he's gone on a layoff and he's come back, title fight. Nobody will beat John Jones, in my opinion. I think he'd beat Aspinall. Yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's a bit bigger. But I think John has the ability to take Tom into round 4, round 5. Because we've never seen Aspinall in round 4 and 5. Aspinall would get tired. He'd get tired. And John would capitalise. I personally think nobody in the history of the UFC or MMA itself would ever top John Jones' performance. And you're probably saying, oh, you're glazing him. Shut up, bro. I don't care. John is the best fighter of all time. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody. Not Habib, not Silva, not GSP, not DJ, not Volk, not Islam, not Aspinall. Not nobody would ever top John's accolades. Nobody. If Pereira didn't lose to Izzy or Ank, right? Let's say he beat them both, and they were still, let's say they were 15-1 today, yeah? Simultaneous middleweight and light heavyweight champion, or he vacated both and moved up to heavyweight. If that's what Alex did, and then Alex went on to beat 5 heavyweights, and retire 20-1 undefeated, he would potentially be on the verge of being as good as John Jones. But then you'd have to look into consideration. Pereira has no wrestling. If John fought him, he'd be wrestled straight to the ground. So that's why I personally think John has the skills to be any singular person within the UFC. That's my opinion. He could be anybody in the UFC at any time, any age, in my opinion. I think he would be anybody. But yeah, this is my GOAT list. If you don't agree, I would love to know all of your guys' views on this video. I would love to know them. I would love to know your GOATs. But please let me know. And yeah, have a good day and good night.